Hey Dan. How are you? What game are you playing?
Oh hey John. I'm good and this is the Prince of Persia game.
Didn't that game come out yesterday? You downloaded it.
No John, who said anything about downloading? I bought it.
Why do you need to buy it when it's available online? I think it's called open source.
No John, you're mistaken. That's called piracy. Open source is something very different.
Really? I thought open source was people downloading things from the internet for free. So what is open source?
Part of that is true. Open source is when software is available for free and so is its program code. One can download free software of the internet as well as the computer program code used to create the application. But it's different from downloading games from the internet. That's piracy. Open software is software made by individuals, and they are uploaded on the internet, and whoever wants to make use of the software can download off the internet for free. Note, the software that is available for free is made available for free by the owner of the software. That's why it's not piracy.
What kind of software are these and what are they used for?
These software can vary and so can their purpose. One example of open source software is Firefox, a web browser. Before in the early 1990s there was only one browser, Microsoft Internet Explorer. Like all Microsoft software at that time, this wasn't free. So one had to buy and install it. Then in 1994, Mark Andreessen and Jim Clark wrote the programming of an internet browser and named it Netscape Communicator. This was better than Microsoft Internet Explorer, and it became so popular that it began eating into the Microsoft Internet Explorer market share. It seemed like Microsoft was going to lose this competition to Netscape, and as you know, Microsoft likes to have a monopoly in the market. Eventually Internet Explorer started being available for free, and it came with every computer. So once you have a browser, there's no need for another.
But I use a couple of browsers.
Yes, and so do I, but in those days, since there were only two browsers available, people used to choose one and stick to it. So with Internet Explorer being pre-installed in the computers that customers were buying, nobody felt the need to go for Netscape. As a last-ditch effort, Netscape released the source code for Netscape Communicator 4.0, thinking that would gain popularity, but that also didn't help. Also, Microsoft had worked on and improved the Internet Explorer and it became far more superior to Netscape Communicator. As a result, Netscape lost out on the war of browsers, and Internet Explorer emerged out as a winner. The era for paid browsers was over, and other browsers, even better than Explorer, started coming out. They were Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, Apple Safari, and so on. Firefox is open source.
Wasn't Mozilla Firefox written by two students in their free time? That's crazy.
I know, right? It actually was written by Blake Ross, who was a 19-year-old Stanford sophomore, and Ben Goodger, who was from New Zealand and 24 years old. Actually, Ross was into fixing bugs in browsers from a very young age of 14 years. He used to do it for Netscape, but then started his own project of making a browser that was later put together by Goodger, and together they created Mozilla Firefox.
Awesome. Can you tell me about some other types of open sourcing?
Another type of open sourcing is done by Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a free encyclopedia that is available on the internet. It's run by the people for the people. The articles are written by volunteers and edited by other volunteers. In an interview given in 2005 by Jimmy Wales, the founder of Wikipedia, he said that the Wikipedia community of volunteers verifies everything that goes on Wikipedia, so all the information that is displayed is reasonably accurate. This helps integrating the world, since so many people try to put a bit of their information into the website. Also, Wales mentioned that it's helpful because while reading an encyclopedia one may have to sit down with a dictionary to comprehend many of the words, but Wikipedia articles are written in easy language, so people can readily get the hang of it. Also, it's available in many languages. It's a way of providing information for free all in one website.
Oh, that's really nice. It's much convenient that way if people don't need to empty pockets, and also much less boring than opening up an encyclopedia. But Dan, Do you know who started this awesome idea of open source?
Richard Stallman. He started by creating a free operating system, similar to Unix. To create this operating system he launched the GNU project, and with this launch he started the free software movement. This took place in 1983. According to him, free software is software that gives the users freedom in using it, means you have the freedom to run the program any way you like, you have freedom to study the program, doesn't change it to suit your needs. He didn't want companies taking over the internet because he felt that threatened his freedom. So he made his own operating system along with a few other individuals, the GNU operating system, with a program called Linux. This was the beginning of the open source movement. This is what open sourcing is all about. It's a movement. It gives individuals a choice between choosing between paid and unpaid software.
But Dan, if software is given out for free, like an operating system Linux, why would anyone pay money for a Windows operating system?
That is a good question. That's probably because there are many people out there who are loyal to one company, and that's why no matter what, they will use their operating system. That's why they are willing to put out big bucks to buy these software. Like the loyal customers of Microsoft will always buy the Microsoft operating system and keep upgrading it to the latest versions that Microsoft releases, such as Windows Vista, Windows 7 and so on. Also because they think that free software won't ever be as good as the paid software. There are also people out there who are against paying for software. They will use only free software. One more reason why people tend to use proprietary software like Windows or Microsoft Word is because their market share is so huge that people are afraid that switching to open source software would render their work incompatible with other computers that use proprietary software.
But Dan, these people who make software for free and they upload it on the net, so other people can make changes to it, don't they ever get paid?
According to a video on YouTube called Opportunities in Open Source, if you know about open source, then you can design operating systems, programming languages and development tools for companies using different open source platforms and earn money out of it. Open source is also found to be a good recruiting tool, and companies like to hire people who work with open source for their own benefits. So if you know about computer programming, John, and if you were hired by a company to improve their software, then yes, you will get paid.
That's really cool. I think I should get into programming too. All this sounds fun. I think this has made the software very accessible to the general public by making it free, because anyone can change it to their own benefit, as well as others, instead of having to pay for it.
That's true, John. Internet users worldwide now have a variety of software to choose from. They can choose among the open-sourced ones, and also among the open-sourced and paid ones. As Richard Stallman would say, by not letting large corporations take over the internet and market the proprietary software, we have preserved our freedom.